Welcome to AI Unveiled.
Today we're diving deep into a story that reveals the fundamental tensions reshaping the AI landscape. A story about power, partnership, and the inevitable moment when the student surpasses the master. Picture this scenario. You've invested nearly $14 billion in a startup. You've given them exclusive access to your cloud infrastructure. You've woven their technology so deeply into your products that it's driving $13 billion in annual revenue. And then that startup turns to you and says, "We want to renegotiate everything." This isn't fiction. This is the reality unfolding right now between OpenAI and Microsoft. And it's a story that illuminates the deeper currents transforming our entire industry. From our vantage point at nxtg.ai, closely tracking these industry dynamics, what we're witnessing isn't just a business negotiation. It's the emergence of a new power structure in AI, one that challenges every assumption about how transformative technology partnerships should work.
The unprecedented negotiation.
Let me paint you the full picture of what's happening here, because the details matter, and they reveal something profound about where AI is heading. OpenAI isn't just asking for minor adjustments. They're making three bold demands. First, they want Microsoft's ownership stake to drop from 49% to 33%. Second, they want Microsoft to surrender its exclusive rights to resell OpenAI's models through Azure. Third, and perhaps most telling, they're fighting to prevent Microsoft from gaining access to the intellectual property of Windsurf. That's a coding startup OpenAI plans to acquire for $3 billion. Now here's where it gets fascinating. OpenAI is reportedly considering filing antitrust complaints against Microsoft if they don't get their way. Think about that for a moment. A startup threatening its largest investor with regulatory action. Drawing from over 2 decades in technology, leadership, and innovation, I can tell you this is unprecedented. The traditional power dynamic between investor and startup has been completely inverted, but OpenAI isn't operating from weakness here. They hold cards that most startups could never dream of. Microsoft's AI revenue this year, $13 billion, is directly attributable to OpenAI's technology. The integration runs so deep that separating them would be like performing open heart surgery on Microsoft's growth engine. Meanwhile, Microsoft isn't powerless either. They're pushing for continued access to OpenAI's intellectual property beyond 2030, when their current deal expires. More crucially, they want OpenAI to delay or eliminate the clause that would cut off IP access once OpenAI achieves AGI, that's Artificial General Intelligence. This AGI clause represents the ultimate wildcard. It's essentially OpenAI saying, once we create AI that matches human intelligence, all bets are off. Microsoft, understandably, doesn't want to be locked out of that future.
The partnership paradox.
Let's step back and examine what this really means for the broader AI ecosystem, because this isn't just about two companies. It's about the fundamental structure of innovation in the AI age. Through ongoing conversations with startup founders and tech innovators, I've observed a pattern emerging. The traditional venture capital model assumes that investors maintain control proportional to their risk and investment. But AI is breaking that model. Here's why. First, the capital requirements are astronomical. We're seeing average funding rounds reach $400 million. That's up from less than $100 million just 2 years ago. Even seed rounds are hitting $9 million on average. Second, the technical moats are deeper than anything we've seen before. Once you achieve breakthrough performance in AI, replicating that advantage becomes exponentially difficult. Third, the strategic value is immediate and measurable. Unlike traditional startups that might take years to show meaningful revenue impact, AI companies like OpenAI are generating billions in value for their partners within months. This creates what I call the partnership paradox. The more successful the AI startup becomes, the more leverage it gains over its original backers. The very success that investors enabled ultimately shifts the power balance in favor of the startup. Grounded in practical applications we're actively deploying at nxtg.ai, I can tell you that enterprise customers are watching these dynamics closely. They're asking themselves, if OpenAI can renegotiate with Microsoft, what does that mean for our AI partnerships? The answer isn't simple. But I believe we're entering an era where AI capabilities become so strategically critical that traditional partnership structures simply won't hold. The companies that adapt to this new reality will thrive. Those that build more flexible, value-aligned partnerships will succeed. Those that cling to old models of control will find themselves outmaneuvered.
market implications.
Let's talk about what this means for your business, your investments, and your AI strategy. The funding landscape is becoming increasingly bifurcated. As one investor noted, there's a huge chasm between the perceived winners and losers. The most promising AI startups have no trouble securing capital. Meanwhile, thousands of AI agent for X companies are struggling for attention. From our first-hand experience building next-generation AI solutions, this consolidation is accelerating. We're seeing more startups opt for party rounds from multiple small investors. Why? Because they can't secure backing from major venture firms. Others are simply selling to better-funded competitors or joining established companies outright. For enterprise leaders, this creates both opportunity and urgency. The opportunity lies in identifying which AI partnerships will survive this consolidation. The urgency comes from recognizing that the current moment may be your best chance to negotiate favorable terms with AI providers. This is before the dust settles. Consider OpenAI's new Department of Defense contract worth $200 million. This isn't just about military applications. It signals AI companies' increasing willingness to diversify their partnerships and reduce dependence on any single corporate backer. The strategic lesson here is clear. In the AI age, exclusive partnerships may become extinct. The technology is too valuable, the applications too diverse, and the strategic importance too high for any single company to maintain monopolistic control.
Looking forward.
As I reflect on this unfolding drama between OpenAI and Microsoft, I'm reminded of something I learned during my years in digital transformation. The most profound changes happen not when new technology arrives. They happen when that technology begins to reshape the fundamental rules of the game. What we're witnessing isn't just a contract negotiation. It's the birth of a new economic model for AI, one where technological capability becomes the ultimate source of leverage, where traditional investor control gives way to innovation-driven partnerships, and where the companies that create breakthrough AI capabilities hold the keys to reshaping entire industries. The question isn't whether this model will spread beyond OpenAI and Microsoft. The question is how quickly other AI companies will follow suit, and how prepared your organization is for a world where AI partnerships operate by entirely different rules. This is AI Unveiled, where we cut through the hype to reveal the forces actually shaping our technological future. I'm Asif Waliuddin. Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and stay ahead of the revolution.
That's AI Unveiled, brought to you by NXTG.ai, where the future of human-AI synergy is being written today. Stay curious, stay bold, and let's build what's next. Visit NXTG.ai to see the cutting-edge work we're doing and try out free demos of advanced AI in action. And don't forget, connect with your host, Asif, on LinkedIn and subscribe to the newsletter for your next edge.